But what is a precedent? A precedent is a decided case. Every day, cases are brought to our civil courts, criminal courts, and our appeal courts. And at the end of each case, a decision is reached. Now, that decision can take months, years, or weeks before it is reached. But nevertheless, a decision is always reached. And once a decision is reached, a new precedent is created. But not every single precedent that comes from our courts is a source of English law. Not every single one. For not every single precedent is binding, meaning not every single precedent must be followed in future. For some precedents are what we refer to as persuasive. So let's recap. What is a precedent? A precedent is a decided case. But remember, there are different types of precedents that are coming from our courts. Some are binding. These are case law. These must be followed. And some are merely persuasive, meaning they are not law. They don't have to be followed. So now our question really is, why is it, Denise, that some decided cases or some precedents are case law and must be followed, or binding, as you say, Denise, and some precedents are persuasive? In order to understand why some precedents are binding and some precedents are persuasive, we really need to explore our second question, which is, what is meant by the doctrine of judicial precedent? So let's explore that question. According to the doctrine of judicial precedent, once a decision has been reached, once we have a decided case or precedent, remember, when another case with similar facts to the precedent or decided case reaches a new court at another time, whether it be 2 years later or one day after the decided case, as long as the facts in the decided case and the current case are similar, the principles reached in the decided case must be followed if the decided case was reached in a court higher up in the hierarchy than the court in which the current case is being discussed. But if the decided case with similar facts was reached in a court lower down in the hierarchy than the one in which the current case is being discussed, the decided case is not binding. So what does that mean, Denise? It means that generally speaking, courts that are higher up in the hierarchy bind courts lower down in the court hierarchy. So every court is really, generally speaking, bound by the courts above them. But the courts lower down in the hierarchy cannot bind courts above them. Let's look at an example to really understand how this works. So in the next section, I'm going to show you a court structure, and then we're going to see exactly how this works in practice.